If you're looking to buy a home, there's some big changes coming on Saturday, August 17th that you need to be aware of. Hi, this is Don Petrasic from Howard Hanna. I'm going to go over those changes as well as tell you how to protect yourself in this new real estate market. So, going forward, if you want to be represented by an agent as a buyer, you're going to have a signed agreement with that agent prior to them providing you any real estate services. That includes showing a house. So, before you go see house number one, you will need to have a signed written buyer representation agreement together with your agent. Um, you can certainly go see houses as an unrepresented buyer, but that would mean that you would be calling the listing agents directly, setting it up with them, which obviously is going to be very inconvenient, but there's some huge downsides to doing that as well that we're going to go over here in a minute. So these changes were a result of a class action lawsuit that was filed against the National Association of Realtors. The state of Ohio also did change law based on what happened with that class action lawsuit and pretty much followed along with all of the things that were agreed to in terms of practice changes. So uh, this is not just um, uh, reaction to a lawsuit, it's also now law in the state of Ohio, which every real estate agent must follow. So, what does a buyer representation agreement look like? This happens to be our agreement. You can see there is a clearly defined term, start and end date, uh, exclusivity, whether you're going to be exclusive with the agent or not, um, types of things that the agent will do or won't do for you are spelled out, and most importantly, the buyer agent's compensation or their commission will be negotiated upfront between you and the agent before you look at house number one. So, the biggest change is that by signing that representation agreement, you're taking responsibility for paying that buyer broker fee, which by the way, you always paid that fee in the past. It was just common practice that the seller would pay it on your behalf. Now, going forward, that could still happen, or the seller may pay part of your fee, or they may pay none of your fee. Another change is that there will be in the MLS, there will no longer be an indication of whether the seller is offering to pay a buyer broker fee or not. The buyer broker will have to call the listing agent to find out whether that's the case or not. Um, Regardless of what the response is to that, you still may be able to negotiate closing cost assistance in your purchase agreement, including the seller paying the buyer broker fee, even if they haven't offered that assistance up front. It's be part of the negotiation of the purchase, could be based on your purchase price, your terms, how qualified you are, that sort of thing. So after seeing that, you may say, well, why would I want to commit to making sure that the buyer broker gets paid? I'll just go out and be unrepresented. I won't have my buyer's agent. You can certainly do that, but as I said before, you will need to schedule showings with each listing agent individually, hopefully getting into those houses before they go off the market. But the biggest downsides are you're not going to get any advice on where to find houses that will best suit you. You'll have absolutely no guidance on the home buying process. You'll be on your own. You can certainly find and hire an attorney to review the contract and represent you. In terms of making sure the contract is appropriate for you and the terms are right. But that attorney is not going to have local market knowledge. They're more than likely not going to be able to refer good providers to you. They can't provide guidance on home evaluation. And if If they're not negotiating on your behalf, it's going to be you up against somebody who might negotiate every day. So you're going up against a skilled negotiator by not being represented by a real estate agent. So in short, nobody's looking out for your interests, which obviously is not a good position to be in when you're making one of the biggest purchases of your life. So before you sign a buyer representation agreement, please take a look at the agent's qualifications and experience, as they can vary quite a bit. You can see by these statistics, nearly one half of agents in 2023 sold one house or zero houses, and 70% had 5 sales or fewer. So what that means conversely is only 30% of the agents out there did more than 5 sales in 2023. What does this mean? Being able to being in the market every day and doing multiple sales every month gives you a much better handle on where things are, both in terms of the price ranges, whether or not a house is going to go into multiple offers, who to work with in terms of the providers, and many other things. So it's extremely important to find somebody who's experienced and in the market every day. We at the Don Petrasic team did 7 times more home sales than the average agent in 2023, 35 transactions completed. So we think we're well suited to help any buyer negotiate this market. Remember, buyer broker commission is negotiable, and it can vary based from agent to agent based on skill level, the services offered, the term of the agreement, and other factors. So please consider that before signing any buyer representation agreement. One of the things you want to look for in an agent is market knowledge. So as we said, making sure that they know whether or not there's likely to be multiple offers, and then if there are, how do they win in a multiple offer situation? We offer 8 offer strategies to win to our buyer clients. These are based on things that have worked over the last 6 or 12 months in the current market. So we give that over to our buyers and help them leverage that to make good offers that are likely to succeed. Another thing is being able to value homes. If you're only doing 2 or 3 sales a year, you're not going to have a good handle on where prices are, where prices have moved, whether they've gone up, whether they've stayed flat. We're in the market every day, so we have a good handle on that, and we've actually created a value calculator tool that we use to determine, where that price should be for any particular house. That tool in 2023 was accurate within a margin of error of 4%, so we're pretty confident when we use that we're getting it right. Another thing that you want to look for in an agent is the ability to help you estimate repair costs. Primarily, that's done by leveraging a list of contractors and professionals. We have a list of 60 plus contractors that we've either used or have otherwise vetted. We also have a tool that we use to help you put together a high level estimate of what it's going to cost to do the most standard repairs or upgrades, so you can know quickly about what range you're going to be in to do any project before you put in an offer. Finally, you want to make sure that the agent you choose can find the best terms for you. If you sign a buyer broker representation agreement with the Don Petrasic team and also get pre-approved through Howard Hanna Mortgage Services, you're going to be eligible for a 0.5%, 0.5% credit up to $10,000. So on a $300,000 purchase, for example, that's $1,500. If you have an agent that isn't aware how to find things like this, you could wind up putting, a couple $1,000s more than you have to into a transaction. We always recommend that you start any relationship with a buyer consultation. Don't sign anything until you sit down with the agent and go through the process and make sure that they know what they're doing. We offer a no cost, no obligation buyer consultation at the time and place that's most convenient for you. We do it virtually online. Some of the things we cover are 8 ways to win a bidding war, the most important things to look for in a home inspection report, and the 4 most common closing mistakes that you'll see on a settlement statement, some of them which can cost hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. So if you're interested in this, you can schedule right now using the link below. Or if you just have a few questions, I'm happy to spend 10 or 15 minutes on the phone with you going over this whole process. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your home buying process.